Well, you guys can come here.
Well, I'm coming here.
Cool.
Unless the virus goes away.
Yeah.
All right, I need some leather, big scissors. Huh? I said, watch the course. I know, right? Face plant.
Yeah, I was saying that in my mind.
Your mind's eye.
Couldn't be over there and grab you.
She's still young. She doesn't break as easy.
I don't know, my finger almost broke. Hello. Hi, everybody's. It is. It is, it is.
Thanks again.
Ready, set, bead. Hi, everybody. Alrighty. I need some Glover needles. Yeah, I'll
Is that your justification for it?
Now I got pina colada stuck in my head. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you're live, aren't you?
I am live. Hi. Hi, everybody's. If you like pina coladas. Where is Pina Colada anyways? Where'd she go? Oh. If you like pina coladas.
She's really good.
I know most of you that aren't from the store that are listening, you guys are probably like, oh my God, I have to go over there because these women are nuts. Just one of us is crazy, just me. All right, so I have to decide what leather I want. I have to find the piece first. You heard me?
Yeah.
If you like pina coladas.
Are you on?
Yeah, of course I'm on. Where's my phone? I don't know. So you yell at me when I'm not there on time, so.
I never have.
You do text me, you're like, did I miss something? Alrighty. So, more like ready, set, buy. Funny. So this is what we're making today. It's a leather tassel. So we are going to start from the leather and make our tassel. And then we're going to make the beaded bead component that's up on top. So that's this guy up here. So depending on how much leather you use, your base will be a little bit different. So, because we'll start off with the ring of pearls that goes around. Lynn. I'm live in person. It says Lynn Shooty Schneider is watching, and she's sitting here. So, you got the ring of pearls that goes around the outside. So, you try, it doesn't really matter if you do even or odd or whatever the case may be. I like to do even amount so that way I can bring it to the point that comes up on here right there. So, I got a 4-prong point on top. So I will tell you, let me see how thick it is around. So that way you guys can have an idea of the circumference that we are looking for. somewhere in between like the thickness of the leather all wrapped up together should be somewhere in between like a half of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, somewhere between there, to get this size bead cap on. So I did about like, for that I did about a 3-inch piece of leather. It might be different for yours because say your leather is thicker than mine, like the ounces is thicker, so it might be a little bit different that way. But so I have lots of scraps, of course, because we sell leather here, so I do have lots of scraps from when I cut them. So I'm just gonna go through here and find one that I like the best and go from there. So these are some of the other ones. Shirley too. Yeah, you can sit. I'll give you the evil eye. I think I will, you know, just because I pulled the same colors to do the same beaded bead up on top. I'll probably use this one, which is kind of like a camouflage looking one. So, so I'm going to cut this, trim this out to make sure like my edges are, you know, even and stuff like that, you know, so like to box it off. So I'm going to hold this up a little bit higher so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit more. And then when we get to the beading, we'll get it a little closer. So, but the top part is just leather cord. Just, this is a 1 millimeter leather cord. So, all right, so let's work with this. I'm gonna work with about 4 inches. So I'm gonna cut it off to about here. So I'm just gonna trim this off. And you can see the scissors that I'm working with, they're pretty heavy duty scissors, so. And then you just kind of want to trim this. So this is an end, so you can see it has a hole in it. See the light coming through? Right there. So that really doesn't matter much anymore right now because it's not going on a flat surface. It's going to be part of a tassel. So if I had holes in this one over here, you couldn't really tell because it's all fringied anyway, so don't worry about it. But we do want to kind of trim the ends a little bit so that way we can keep it even. Considering that these ends like to flip up, so I'm gonna trash that. Don't trash it, you might be able to use it for something else, but you know what I mean. Catch my drift? So all I'm doing is like boxing this off right now. So there we go. So we got a nice little piece here. This, of course, is going to be longer than my other one. There is my other one, so it is a little bit longer. All right. So, and then what we're going to do, so you can either use a rotary cutter on this, or you can use scissors, or you can use X-Acto knife, you know, whatever works for you works for me. So just as long as it cuts the leather. So, but we're just going to cut little strips all the way up. So I'm going to keep this, since this is like my, kind of like my most even edge, I'm going to keep this for the outside. And I'm going to use this for the inside piece when I roll it up. We're going to roll it up like a joint. Nah. So we're just going to roll this, and then we're going to, afterwards, we're going to sew it with the Glover needle. So my little tassel strips or whatever, there, you can see them there. About, I don't know. I'll give you an exact, I'll find a thing. So between like 1/8 of an inch wide is how I'm cutting them. Hello. And they don't have to be exactly even because they're going to be wrapped up. So you're not going to be able to tell really if they're not very even or not. So try to get the best. I mean, you don't want one that's like really huge and the other ones to be small, that kind of thing. So, and it might help to keep it like flat on a surface and use an X-Acto knife at first. So there's my fringies. So I hope you guys had fun with the last show, and I know I gave you a preview for next week, so. And we will work on getting all your invoices out this weekend to you, and your cup chain on its way, its merry little way to you guys. So this is just another thing of what you can do with your scraps. It makes a really cute like necklace. So if you have two of the exact same pieces of scraps, then you can make tassels at either end, so you can make like a lariat. Or if you have a best friend, then you could have matching necklaces. Shirley, it'd be like friendship bracelets. Is this what you do for me at home? I really am glad I'm a source of entertainment. That's a little better than puka shells. That was cute. She's still laughing over there. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of fringes working around here, so. Who, me? Little. Well, I'm killing her, and then she's killing you, so we'll all be killing each other here. So, and then we're going to use our glovers after this. So, I'm using size 10 or number 10, but 12s will work, 9s will work, 11s will work. So basically, the smaller the number, the thicker the needle. So we have up to like 4s over here, which will go through your leather very easily. So you can tell the difference with the glovers is they're kind of like a triangle shape, and they got really, 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 really sharp end. So. Yeah, you can use Ultra Suede too. So Ultra Suede works. So if you have extra Ultra Suede, then you know this will work that will work as well. We have some like pattern Ultra Suede too, so you know, so you can do that as well. All right, so we're gonna roll this. I'm gonna thread my needle first, so it'd be a good idea for you guys to do that at this point. This is what you guys do when you're home, right? You just sit there and laugh at me. At least you're honest about it. I'm so glad I'm a source of entertainment like this. Man, I'm in the wrong field. I'm telling you. If you like pina coladas. All right. So the one thing I hate about glitter needles is they are short. They're all short, no matter what. I'm used to using a long needle, so you can imagine I just get aggravated with it. So what I like to do with the leather is I join my thread together at the end. So typically, like you're sewing, you know, some clothing or something like that, like you usually do, and you just make a knot at the end without stabbing yourself. I'm going to stab myself. There we go. There was probably an easier way of doing that, but for some reason I have to act like this on camera. So just a knot, you know, yeah, like I should have done this at this end. See, that makes a lot more sense, Stephanie, but. All right. So we're gonna find our end that is the most even, and we can trim it up later on if anything. So this end is less even to me. It's got this little piece that kind of goes down in a line here. So I'm gonna start rolling from this end. And you're just gonna roll it into a tube. So there we go. There's our tube. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to stitch this together. So what I'm going to do, why do I keep on saying that multiple times in a row? But I'm going to put my needle in through the center like this and come out through the outside. So our bead cap is actually going to cover this. Okay, there goes my leather. Our bead cap, I got a mouse that's stealing leather here. So it's going to go all over this part, so we don't need to worry about it. So. But the reason we use glitter needles is because they do go through the leather a whole lot easier than your typical beading needle. And I would recommend grabbing a pair of pliers when you're doing this too. So the reason I put the knot ball into the center is that the tails kind of like come out on the outside. You can just trim them off, but that way you don't have that gap. And there's my hair. All right. So that way you don't have that gap that's there with the little ball end at the end. So we're just going to go back and forth through the leather a couple of times. Making sure we get this tab end right here down, stitch down. And I'm using 1G thread, but if you want to use Fireline or whatever, you can.
What size did you cut the leather?
It was about 3 inches by 4 inches. And it looks like a bug right now, literally. It's got little antennas. Kind of, yeah, it looks like oh, it's so cute. So if you guys purchase a scrap pack from us, these are great to use from the scrap pack. It's cool to make these. And really, after you do the stitching of the down of the leather and stuff like that, it doesn't really take that much time after this. So you notice I'm just passing back and forth a couple of times, and then I will cut the thread. So I'm not going to worry about making a knot. We passed through it a couple times, so I'm just going to cut it at the end there. And cut my little antennas off. Goodbye, antennas. Wow. My bug has a voice. So, There you go. If you feel like this, you don't like this part here where it's like sticking out, then you can go ahead and you can tack that down too. But if not, then you're cool with it. Then I'm cool with it. We're all cool. So, all right. I can't see what's going on here. Oh, I've got some synthetic leather too. Glovers. Yes, glovers. You guys are a little... Oh, sorry. Thank you. It's a little higher than my, eye level, so I have to actually look up to see this. But yes, they are Glover needles. So we do sell them at the shop. Glovers. There you go. So. Okay, so now we're going to make our beaded cap, which is kind of why everybody's here, I guess. So we're going to use 4mm rounds, 3mm rounds, the 2x3 rondelles, crystal, Chinese crystal, 11 seed beads, and 15s. So that is the plan. And we're going to start building it from the base and then work our way up. So the base is here, but instead of starting with the, actually down here, we're going to start with the pearls. So let me count how many pearls I have here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 pearls. Which makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to try it with 8 pearls like I did last time. I think it should work with that. And I'm going to try to make this more into a tube. So if you kind of like stitch it so like tight, it's going to want to flatten the tube. But you can kind of push the ends a little bit together and it'll make it more into, a circle like it should be. All right, so I'm going to use the same thread that I had before, and I'm just going to build off of that with this. And you can continue to use the Glovers. I am going to switch to another needle. Does anybody have a needle? Needle? Can Stephanie borrow somebody's needle? No, you just have a crochet hook. Thank you, Lynn. Ow. I know. So I'm going to switch over to a regular beading needle at this point, and then in between this, we will switch back to the Glover. All right, so we're going to start off with our pearls, and we're going to start with 15s. My mat looks like a mess right now. The black ones for me are 11s. The silver ones are 15s. That is my expensive bead of the day, is sterling silver 15s. So we're gonna pick up a pearl and a 15, and we're gonna do that 8 times, and I'm gonna check to see the size of what I'm working with here. Can everybody see this, or do I need to get closer this time? Now. Like I typically am with when we do the bead weaving. Oh, I'm just chasing this around the mat. Okay. Okay. So let me see how this works. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a good fit here. So we're gonna take all these beads and we're gonna pass back through all of them again to make a circle. This is we're gonna be working like a netted stitch from here. Or you were just having a blast, aren't you? I know she is. I don't know what to do. Oh crap, I have two 15s here. Well, let's see. Fours? We're starting off with fours first. They are pearls. Glass, well, Swarovski pearls. I'm tearing this apart, guys, because I have two 15s down here. So just ignore me for a minute while I pretend to teach. It's kind of like when I do the mystery classes and I'm like, oh, I forgot what I did yesterday. I did that with the one that Melissa was watching. I actually built it a totally different way than what I did the day before. Totally different. I was like, oh my God, I hope this works out. There was a sigh of relief when it did. Yeah, I wing it all the time. You guys think I know how to bead. I really don't. I pretend. So we're going to go back around all the beads like we should have before. And we're going to tie a knot with our thread. So when we reach our tail, that's when we just tie a little knot there with our tail and our working thread. And before you do that, you're going to want to check the fit again. So you're going to want to slip it over the top of the tassel. Make sure it works out. So before I tie my knot officially, ta-da, it fits. Do you have the same leather as I do? Is that what you're doing? No? Because I thought you were just going to steal the tassels so that way you can make yourself like a lariat or something like that. You're like, yeah, you make one, I'll make the other. That's the friendship tassel. Right, Shirley? All right, and then we're just going to cut off our tail because we don't need him anymore, and he's just going to get in the way, so. As you can see, I'm still working with the big scissor. All right, let me go back into focus again. All right, so let's look back at our sample piece. So these are the pearls, the 4mm pearls that we just stitched, that we just added. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go down from the center here, and I'm going to create this part down here. So, and it's much like the netting stitch that I've done for you guys before. So no panicking, no worries. You probably have seen it before. And then I'm going to go back up and create the top part. And it's going to actually go pretty quickly after that. So, all right, so let's create our bottom. So what we're gonna do is we are going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads. Okay. If you guys can see that. I know it's a little bit further away because I'm working with the leather. So, but yeah, so here is the gap that we're going to pick up to start off with. So that's 5 11 OC beads. Don't look at the 15s right now. So just that grouping right there is the 5. So I'm going to pick up, exiting a 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exiting this 15, I'm going to go into the next one. All right, and much like I do my the netting stitch, or I have done the netting stitch before, I'm going to go back up through the last bead I added. All right, so each bridge has 5. So since each bridge has 5 and I already have 1 because I went through the 1, then I need to pick up 4. Oh, there's a little bug on top of there. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have a ball watching these back. I won't myself because, you know, the sound of my voice is like nails on chalkboard. All right, so I picked up 4, went through the next 15, back up through the last one we added. Pick up 4, 2, 3, 4, travel through the next 15 in the circle, and back up through the last bead that we added. Up through, down through, you're just passing back through it. So, and the reason is because they're going to act like little scalloped edges that are along the side. Three, 4, through the next 15, up through the 11. And I'm working on it off of the tassel right now. When we get more towards, you know, more of it built, then I'll slip it on. The reason is because your string is going to get caught in the little tassel parts here, and you're going to curse me out. This is not Zoom, so I can't hear you, so there's no form of entertainment for me. So it means you're going to build it off of it for now. So this is an 8 bead. So we're going to do this 8 times, well, 7 times in general. And the last time we're going to share a bead from the first and last segment. 2, 3, 4. All right. Up through the last one we added. And we're going to pick up now. Okay, so if I bring it closer to the camera, you can see there's 1 here. And there's 1 here. So it means I need 3 to bridge that gap. That will make that 5. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go up through that first 11 bead. And then back through the 15. Okay, so common sense would say, let's finish off the bottom. Kind of like I did here with the 15s. We're not going to follow common sense. We're going to go against common sense today, and we're going to go travel up the bead. And the reason is because we're going to want to tighten it up afterwards with the 15s and the bell cap. So, so just pay attention. That's it. All right, so looking back at the sample, so now we're going to create the top part here, which is this part right here, and it matches that. So we're going to do the 5 beads up on top. So exiting the 15 again, we're going to pick up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 11s, and we're going to travel into the next 15. And these are going to align themselves on the top part. And if they look like they want to fall to the bottom, it's fine. Don't worry. We're going to pull them back up again when we add the next, the 3mm pearls. So no panicking. All right. We have 1 here that we shared from the last one. So we're going to pick up 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Travel into the next 15. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh my goodness, it's so far away. There we go. And travel up through the last one that we added. All right, and see how it just makes a little cage around the 4mm beads? So again, pick up 1, 2, 3, 4. Travel through the next 15. And this is why I switched from my Glover to this, because we're doing multiple passes through these 15s. So just to save me the torture of breaking a bead, I will switch to a smaller or regular beading needle. And if it helps to keep you straight, you could put it on a dowel or straw or something like that. Some like to work with that. I just put it at the end of my finger and hope for the best. You're almost done? Wow. That's fast. Picking up 4, travel into the next 15. Don't know why that underneath is looser, but it is. I'll fix that up later. And now we're up to the last part here. So again, this is going to be where we add the 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to travel in through the first 11 that we added way at the beginning. Ciao, come stai? Tutto bene? Okay. Coolness. So now we are going to step up into the middle 11 from the ones that we added from before. So it doesn't matter. You can choose which is your top and which is your bottom right now, because right now it's just a very cute little ring. A ring that only fits on my pinky. See? Ta-da. Okay. So, and again, you're going to check your size and make sure it kind of fits over the top of the little cap that we have for the leather. So mine's gonna fit. It's kind of like me putting my pants on after I ate a lot of cheesecake, but yeah, it fits. So I'm gonna work off of the tassel now. So you guys can do the same. No worries. So what it's going to do is it's going to kind of pull up on this part here. So that's what we're going to step up now. So I'm going to go through the 15, if you're not through a 15 already, up through an 11, and through another 211. Unfortunately, this is black and it's black against black, so you can't really see it much, but yeah, so I'm exiting the middle 11 there, as you can see. Are you making one too, Shirley? Oh, look how cute he is.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Pretty pretty.
It looks like an iridescent octopus. Okay, so we're gonna switch to our 3s now. What color are my 3s? 3s. Here we go. Yeah, 3s. They're white. So we used 8 of the 4s, so we're going to use 8 of the 3s. Let's see if I got this planned out right. 4, and 4 is 8. 2 extra on the mat. What was that? What? Oh, hiccup. All right. So we're going to stitch a 3mm in between the top of the picots. So I'm going to pick up a 3mm and I'm going to go into the middle 11 over the next 4mm purl. All right. Again, pick up, sticks, go into the next 11. Next 11. Next, see what I mean about it getting stuck around the tassels? So pick up a 3 and travel into the next picot, the middle 11 of the next picot. Picot. Pico. I think that would be a cute name for like a Chihuahua or something like that. We can name them. We can name our dogs beading terms. Dogs and cats. I don't know what Connor would be named. Huh? Rivoli? Rivoli. That's cute. I feel like a Rottweiler or a Doberman should be named like Raw, like riding a weave. For the tough dogs. All right, so there's our 3s that we just added. So next up, we're gonna look at our sample again, and we're gonna start switching over to 15s now again to make the top of this. So if you feel like that you need some more of the cap to go up, then you can just continue adding like 11s until you get to the top of the leather, and then you could start adding 15s to close it up. So like the 15s are like the closing part. So in between these guys here, in between the 3s, we're going to pick up 5 11s, and we're going to go from the 11 that's 3mm. So exiting an 11, which is what I'm doing. So I'm exiting 11 right now. We're going to pick up 5 15s. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go into the next 11. Which way am I headed? That's correct. Okay. So this is gonna go over the 3mm purl. And we're gonna go up through the last 15 we added, just like before. Okay. Pick up 4 15s now, because that one's the one that we're sharing out of the 5. Skip over the 3mm purl and go into the next 11. And up through the last 15 we added. 1, 2, 3, 4 15s. Skip over the 3, go into the 11. Up through the last 15 we added. One, 2, 3, 4. Into the 11, next 11. Up through the last 15 we added. 1, 2, 3, 4. see it as I pull on it, it wants to pull it up. So if you feel like, you know, that's annoying you, you can stitch through the leather with the glover and it will stop from pulling up. I usually keep that to the end. But if it's annoying you right now, you can go ahead and stitch through it. 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Up through the last 15. One, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, nope, we only need 3 right now because we're at the last one. So, again, this is the one from the first one. The last one that we're exiting is the last one that we added. And then we're going to go into the first one, which is the first 15 that we added. And we're going to go down into the first 15. And that's going to create that bridge in between. Through the 11 that's underneath that 15. And then up through the 15 to step up again. So up through the 15 and through 2 15s to exit the top on the middle 15 on top of the 3mm pearl. Okay. So at this point, I realized that we're going to start closing this up on the top, and I really don't want my cap to start slipping off again. So I'm going to switch back to the glover. Okay. And I'm just going to tack this in. So I'm going to be exiting like a 15 or something like that, you know, or you can exit the 11 in between, whatever the case may be. I might go down a little bit and exit that 11 in between. Or a pearl or something like that. Okay. And I'm just going to go through the leather in between the beads. And that's just to anchor it down. I might need a plier. Lynn's got everything. Oh, I got it. Plier. I think I got it though. So I'm just going to do like 2 or 3 passes in between, and this is just to anchor it down. So that way, when you pull on it to tighten it up, it's not going to pull the cap off. Oh, thanks, I got water too. Okay. Makes it easier when you have a pair of pliers to pull it through. All right, now we're going to switch back to our beading needle, a regular one, so we can get through these 15s without worrying that they're going to break. If you think threading a needle is hard normally, you should try doing it live while everybody's watching. And Lynn had to give me like the smallest needle that she has. All right, let's see what we're headed to. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna exit that middle 15 again. Up through the 15 above the 11 and through 2 additional 15s. All right, so looking at our piece now, here we go. We are going to add our Chinese crystal now, which is those little shiny things that are in between the 15s there. So I'm gonna grab my 3x2s. And you can use like 3mm bicones. You can use true 2s. It's just whatever you can fit in that space that starts to tighten it up. So, all right. So pick up a Chinese crystals and travel from the middle 15 over the 3mm to the middle 15 over the next 3mm. And you're going to do this all the way around. Going through the wrong bead there. All right. And last one. You're going to go through the 15 where you started off with this round. Okay, so there's our little 3mm 2x3s rondelles. So looking back at our piece, we're going to do some 15s on top of here. And what we're going to do is we're not going to do every crystal. We're going to do every other crystal. But it's going to be a little picot on top. So, picot. It is, right? So we're going to exit a crystal rondelle. And we're going to pick up a 15, an 11, and a 15. And we're going to travel back through the rondelle that we're exiting. All right. Continue through the next 15, next crystal, next 15, and next crystal. So we skipped the crystal that was in between that. So again, a 15, an 11, and a 15. Back through the crystal. Travel through the next 15, next crystal, next 15, and next crystal. 15, 11, 15. Travel back through the crystal you're exiting. 15, crystal, 15, crystal. Okay. 15, 11, 15, back through the crystal. All right, and now we're going to step up into that 15 and that 11 that you just added. So we're going to exit that 11 that's up on top. All right, and now we're going to close this up. So you can see this, it's in between here. So I have in between those, whoops, it's a little too close. All right, in between the 11s, they're black, you can't see them, but there's a 15 in between each of them. So exiting that 11 up on top, we're gonna grab a 15 and we're gonna go into the next 11 that's above that next crystal over. So when we stepped up into the 11, we changed directions. So if it feels like you're going the wrong way, you probably are. But it's designed that way, so don't worry about it. Last 15 that we're going to add in between the two 11s. And there you go. It has closed up shop. Okay. So now we got to add a little kind of something bail or something like that up on top so that way you can attach that leather cord to it. So exiting an 11, I'm going to pick up an 11 and a number of 15s of however long you need your bail to be. So typically I do like 9 or something like that. And then you're going to end it with another 11. So an 11, a number of 15s in the center, and 11. And you're going to go into the 11 that is directly opposite the one you're exiting. So back up through the 11 and up through all those 15s. And then through the 11 that's on the other side. And you can do this back and forth a little bit more times, you know, a little bit more passing through, just to make sure that you got it anchored down well. But it gives you your little bail so that way you can connect your leather too. It's so cute. Okay, so we are going to end our thread there. I'm going to start one at the bottom so that way we can finish off the cap down here by adding our little 15s. Like I said, if you want to extend your cap out a little bit more, you can do that by adding some more beads on the bottom, but you know, that's how I made my first one, so I'm going to make my second one that way. So I'm going to grab some more thread because I ran out. Add my new thread in here. Curse out my little tassels from tying on themselves onto the thread. Half hitch knot. All right. We're going to jump down into the seed beads here at the bottom. And I'm going to exit the one right before the one that is shared there in between the two. So the one that's attached to the 15. We're going to pick up a 15 and travel through the next 3 11s. Pick up a 15 through the next 3 11s. 15, 3 11s. Last one. All right, and then you're going to tie off your thread. Half hitch knot. I know. I thought you guys were like in a pizza coma at this point because everybody stopped laughing and everything. See? So I was like, well, that's why I only had one piece instead of 2. Word for the rise. Okay. So there you go, guys. Little beaded cap. Ta-da! So easy. So, really, really easy. Yep, it's very quick. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions? No? Yes? Maybe? All right. Huh? Because Jesus said so.
How long do you make this?
How long? It depends. It's how long you want them. If you want a tiny little tassel, then you can make them tiny. If you want a bigger one, then you can make them bigger, longer. So, I mean, the longer you make them, then the longer your cap should be. So just keep that in mind, you know. So this one's a little tinier, or it's where they should end. So if I were to cut these up a little higher, then it would probably be a little bit better, but I cut them shorter. So, but I can bead down further and make the cap longer. So, but yep. Alrighty. There's everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. We will see you guys next week for the Swarovski crystal thing. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. We will see you guys soon. Take care. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye.